How can I not smile? I'm looking at trees I planted. They're looking so good over there. I'm Philip Grushka, the retired Director of Horticulture and Forestry for the Pittsburgh Parks Conservancy. The reason we're here is to discuss the elm tree cultivar study that we started back in about 2004. Before we planted all these different cultivars of elm trees along the Serpentine Drive here, Norway maples were coming up through the woods everywhere, and we would go through and remove them because they're environmentally invasive. And so we needed to replant Schenley Park where these big Norway maples came down. I turned my attention to elm. I began to read about the different cultivars. And when we looked at the numbers of cultivars that have Chinese and Siberian elm in their lineage, it was alarming. Many of these cultivars have the potential to become environmentally invasive. If I planted those in the parks here, they would do the same thing that the Norway maple did. So this study is all about planting these trees and then seeing if there's viable seed from these cultivars. And if there is viable seed, what parent does it throw back to? Because that seed is going to go one parent or the other. It's not going to be, oh, another cultivar. That's not the way it works. We're up to about 30 different cultivars of elm. Many of the trees were sponsored by individual donors, and they gave us the discretion of what to buy and where to plant it. And then the Penn State Cooperative Extension participated. I was working with a gentleman there who was running a program for inner city youth. So they were the people that came out and helped plant all the different elms that we have here in Schenley Park. I submitted that to the International Society of Arboriculture, and they recognized that project as the Arbor Day Project of the Year for the Pennsylvania chapter of the International Society of Arboriculture. The elm that I'm standing next to here is a cultivar named Accolade, and we've not found them to become environmentally invasive. We chose to plant them though because if we're doing this observational study, we might as well include all the cultivars that we can. In this planting, we did 6 different cultivars, and we replicated each cultivar with 5 individuals. So the ones that were feared have the genetic potential to throw viable seed and become invasive are just around the bend from our location. But we're keeping an eye on all of them. And we have yet to find any viable seed or seedlings. We're just now getting at a point where trees are going to begin producing viable seed. It's a citizen science type of approach where if we start to see Chinese or Siberian elm seedlings coming up in the mulch ring around these trees that we planted in the landscape, then we're going to be able to sound the alarm bell that there are cultivars producing viable seed that are going to become environmentally invasive. This cultivar of elm tree is called Elsmo. This is a cultivar of Chinese elm. We know as a straight species, it would be producing viable seed that would become environmentally invasive. However, even though this looks just like Chinese elm, we haven't seen any seedlings. It may not be producing viable seed. And so this could end up being a really great tree for us to continue to use in the urban forest. Knowing all the effort you put into selecting and planting and nurturing, and then to see them on their own, yeah, that's pretty cool.
This video is made possible thanks to the Margaret Ritchie R. Battle Family Charitable Fund.